Were you there? Did you go?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dump it
good.
right in the lake, but you know, when you're in the middle, there's cul-de-sacs.
Because
there's nowhere to
the
go.
water's warm enough to melt it, so.
Yeah, but you're 8 feet of snow, what are you gonna do with it? And then everyone complaining that it's not, you know,
I don't know.
I got the shop right yet.
Okay, we're
I
live.
was kind of
We're live now.
surprised that some of the, they had streets clear.
Okay.
They still got it.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Trustee Cheney?
Here.
Trustee Foster? Here. Mayor Newhart?
Here.
Trustee Lindberg?
Here.
Trustee McKnight?
Here.
Stephen Gaba?
Present.
Mike Mosher?
Here.
Okay, may I have a motion to accept the minutes of November 7th, 2022?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And an acceptance of the following reports: October 2022 Clerk's Office, Tax Collection, Justice Department, Building Department, Department of Public Works, and September and October 2022 Planning and Zoning reports.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And a motion for authorization to pay all approved and audited claims in the amount of $183,156.06.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And Chief, do you have anything for us tonight? Well, I want to reiterate what I said before we went on, that the Academy, the Youth Academy, was given acknowledgement and an award from the Chamber of Commerce this past Saturday, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Well deserved. Yeah.
It's
And-
definitely the efforts of the community to pull together all their day trips and the SROs that really had the imagination to keep it interesting.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
it was a great team.
for the first year, it was a remarkable activity, and the attendance and, was amazing. So,
We'll be continuing it.
good, very good.
Absolutely this summer.
Yeah. I think it really makes a difference because when you engage youth at that age, it really makes an impression. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And having this officers in the school from kindergarten on up, we're already building trust with them, so it's just an extension in the summertime to really build it up and teach them about the criminal justice system and hopefully guide a few our way
okay,
or into the system somewhere.
okay. Or make them just good citizens, so,
That would be great.
yeah.
I was telling the chief that my 6-year-old has had some really positive experiences with Officer Cat and wants to be a police officer.
Ah,
Right. Yeah,
well, she's a good role model.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Privilege of the floor. Looks like we have an empty room tonight, but, and so we'll move on to motions. Trustee Cheney?
Motion to return the village board escrow balance of $2,296.90 to Village View Estates LLC for the application of Village View Estates LLC for a special use permit authorizing creation of bonus density lots in a cluster development subdivision pursuant to Village Code 145-29D4. All invoices have been paid as per Village of Warwick Attorney Steve Gaba.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 2, resolution introducing a proposed local law to amend the village zoning code, making referrals and setting a public hearing. Whereas the village board of the Village of Warwick has before it a draft local law entitled "A Local Law to Amend the Village Code by Revising the Table of Uses in the Zoning Code to add residential apartments above commercial space as a permitted use in the light industrial district, conditional upon planning board approval. And whereas the village board has caused part 1 of an environmental assessment form under the State Environmental Quality Review Act to be prepared, and whereas in order to act on the proposed local law, it is necessary for the village board to introduce the proposed local law, conduct seeker review, make certain referrals, and hold a public hearing. Now therefore be it resolved as follows. 1, that the movement of this resolution does hereby introduce the said proposed local law, a copy of which is attached here too. And 2, that the village board, as the sole involved agency in seeker review of the proposed local law, declares itself to be lead agency, determines that the proposed local law is an unlisted action under seeker, and approves the EAF Part 1 and authorizes the mayor to sign it. And 3, that a copy of this resolution along with the proposed local law and the seeker EAF shall be submitted to the village planning board pursuant to Village Code Section 145-170 and to the Orange County Planning Department pursuant to General Municipal Law Section 239M. And 4, that a public hearing on the proposed local law is set for December 19th, 2022 at 7:30 p.m. and that due notice of same is directed to be given by publication and posting.
Very good.
Second.
Trustee Cheney?
Yes.
Trustee Foster?
Yes.
Trustee McKnight?
Yes.
Trustee Lindberg?
Here.
Mayor
Yes.
Newhart?
Here. Yes. Okay.
Motion to appoint Michael Gurvich as Village of Warwick Assistant Summer Concert, sorry, I can't get it open. Coordinator.
Second.
I actually think it would be better if we called him a co-coordinator, so that they're working a little bit more closely together. So could we make that change?
Make a motion to amend prior motion, and then you need a second on that, and then it would be approved that, and then you would vote on the amended motion.
Well, I wish I had
Or she
spoken
can
up.
just withdraw it.
I'll withdraw my motion and I'll make a new motion.
Very good.
Make a motion to appoint Michael Gurvich as Village of Warwick Summer Concert Series co-coordinator.
Second.
Question, do we have to go back and make John Johansson,
No.
yeah,
No.
co-coordinator?
No.
Okay.
Now let's see how far.
Okay. We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
A motion to grant permission to the Warwick Lions Club to ring bells for the Salvation Army at the business locations of 33-37 Main Street on December 3rd, 4th, 17th, and 18th, 2022, between the hours of 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. Proof of proper insurance has been received.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And under reports this evening, Barry?
Yes, I'd like to report that the well number 3 design that was submitted to the County Health Department has completed, the County Health Department's completed its review and has come up with a lot of kind of minor things within the design, changes here and there, which I've had a call, the mayor was in it as well, with our engineer Pittengarrow and Dosh, and they agreed they were, everything was pretty much minor, easy to change. There were 2 requirements. One is to do a 72-hour pump test on the well, and the second one is to do some additional testing on the well for parameters that weren't tested for previously. So that's going to, initially we're going to try and resolve the 72-hour pump test by giving them a pretty detailed aquifer test that was done back in about 2002 or 3 by a consulting firm, and if that doesn't satisfy their curiosity, then we will go ahead with the 72-hour pump test.
Great. And Carly?
I have a couple updates. So last Monday, we had our first meeting of the Memorial Park Master Plan Stakeholder Advisory Group. It was a really well-attended meeting and
All 20, how many members?
20-something,
20-something members.
folks. I think there were maybe close to 30 of us in the room, and actually it was a really thoughtful group, and I think we're really looking forward to it. They had great feedback about ways that they can better inform our process, so we kind of put together some maps of other park assets for them to think about, like the broader context. They want to know kind of what's in play, what can change and what can't change, and so that's something that we'll be looking at. Looking at kind of the way we yonder for like kayaking. They had really good feedback about the memorial role through the park, like thinking about that being more engaged throughout the park, but these are just some ideas that came out. During the next meeting, we're going to talk about goals and objectives and fill in some engagement gaps, and we'll do breakouts, which I think will be great. They did want to see representation from our emergency services because of the helipad and also the role of the park as a staging area for the community, which I thought was really thoughtful. And so we'll be reaching out to fire department, police department, EMS to see. And then we also we want to increase the diversity of the group as well, just ethnic diversity. And so we'll be doing some additional outreach on that. But it was, I think it was a really good first meeting.
It
And
was excellent, and I want to just say that you did an extraordinary job leading the meeting. You really
Oh, thank you.
kept it on track and set a tone, and that's important. It was excellent.
yeah, it was cool. Actually, at the end of the meeting, one of the participants came up and said that they all might have walked in golf players or tennis players, you know, sort of like wanting to compete or jockey for their position, but they left on the same team. And I thought that was really cool because we really talked about how this is the community's park, and we really oriented the meeting around what does the community need and what have we heard from others and all that. And then the second update is related to the New York State DOT meeting that the working meeting that the board had last Thursday. I think it was a really informative meeting for all of us. We had some good action items, I think, come out of that. For example, we learned that in order to propose that New York State lower speeds, we need to pass a resolution as a board. And so we'll be looking at the two state, obviously this applies to the two state roads, 17A and 94. And then we also, in order to get them to change Maple Avenue from being a passing lane to no passing, which is much more appropriate for the nature of that area, all we need to do is send them a letter. So that is good. I don't know how fast that change will take place, but we need to kind of, do we need to pass a resolution in order to send that? All right, so we'll pass a resolution and we'll, I saw the look on your face and I was like, well.
Well, let's just make sure it's on the next agenda so we can move.
Yeah.
On.
So those two, so that, I guess that would be 3 resolutions. We also learned that they are planning to send us feedback by the end of the year about the previous request to change the speed limit between the village and Greenwood Lake,
Greenwood Lake, yes.
which I think is a town
That was a town request.
request, yep. And then we also did learn that they are intending to put a crosswalk in at South Street Extension. And we need to put in the receiving features, the receiving sidewalks on either side of that in order to make that happen.
And we are actually working with Orange County Community Development to make that happen, actually. We've gotten some news contrary, but we're working it. So.
Okay. And then we had a couple kind of, you know, those were I guess some of the high points. But we also did learn that they are planning to move the design for the repaving of both 94 and 17 up to Belleville forward for approval in Q1, and that they have not yet decided on sort of their public engagement sessions for that. And so that's something that I think is an action item for us to kind of help encourage or push on. Also, we learned a little bit more about how they make sort of funding decisions and about the definition between a single project and heavy reconstruction. And so they will not invest in heavy reconstruction related projects at this time because they don't have budget for it, but they will invest in what they refer to as like single maintenance projects. And so we are, as a board, we need to learn more about the difference between those things because the line actually seems more like a spectrum than like a hard and fast barrier. And so we have some things that we would like them to integrate into those moves. And then we also, I think we have, you know, we obviously have more work to do in terms of community engagement on other improvements that need to be made around traffic and pedestrian safety in the village. And so the comprehensive plan committee is going to need to meet again and form our transportation safety focus group.
Very good.
Would fellow board members want to add anything to that summary?
Oh, I mean, it was very enlightening. It was a great opportunity to discuss our situations with 8 or 9 professional planners. Great opportunity.
Yep, and then I guess final update as we met, oh, did anybody else have anything on that? And then Hello Warwick Valley met a few weeks ago.
Yes.
The steering committee for that, and steering committee members have been asking that we create bylaws to kind of create a little bit more structure around the relationship of the different entities that are providing steering committee members, and so I drafted those bylaws, and they're currently in review.
Very good. Thank you.
Yep.
Bill?
Just a reminder, our annual tree lighting will take place this Friday across the street, sponsored by the fire department. It starts at 6:30, and time change this year. And Santa Claus will be arriving on a fire truck.
Excellent.
That's great.
Okay. Do you want to, when I came in this afternoon, you guys were very engrossed in a meeting. Do you want to just mention what that was about?
We're updating some village codes, fire alarms, false alarms. We've been working on ethics code. We've been working on coming up with a short-term rental program that we have been working on years past. We've been talking to the town and engaged in what they're going through. They have a owner absentee program at the town. We're looking for possibly an owner occupied, but again, we're weighing both options, so.
Very good. Great. Thank you. Sir?
Okay, so the library will be closing 3 p.m. on Wednesday through Thanksgiving, opening again on Friday morning. Also coming up on December 3rd at the library from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., there will be the Friends of the Library Holiday Book Sale, where you can bring a bag, fill the bag with new or almost new books for $5. And you could buy, an individual book for $1. Children's books are 2 for $1, so it's a pretty popular program.
What's the date on that?
That is December 3rd. I think this happened a while ago, but I received word that the library is in receipt of an award from New York State Senator Skoufis
Yep.
for $15,000 to be applied towards the youth programs,
Yes.
which is great. So that's an update on the library. As far as police incidents, there were 380 in the month of October. We tracked that month over month across all different categories, basically every call. And also, residents may see that we have one radar flashing speed sign that we have been strategically placing around the village every 1 to 2 weeks. And I want to thank the DPW for bringing your bucket truck, unhooking it every time, putting up the new place. What it's allowing us to do is it basically saves the data to the cloud. So we are doing our own little traffic study with the one camera that we had. Hopefully in the future we can budget for more, but what it's allowing us to do is to figure out where we can put in some traffic calming, where we're seeing the most speeding violations, and also where the police can concentrate enforcement activities in those areas.
Especially the time of day.
Especially time of day, right? So as you can imagine, I mean, we'll do a report when it's all said and done. Commuting hours, extra speed, late at night, that's happening. We've even put some, near a school zone. You see people going quite fast through it. It's become an issue in our village. So this will at least help us with a data-driven approach. So several residents have said thank you for putting one on West Street. And then we took it away. It's not to take it away because we need to use that elsewhere. But again, we'll try to get more that we can permanently install around the village. So thank you, Chief Rader, for your partnership on that. I think that was, one last thing. We have several security cameras around the village. Several of them have been not operational. So we have the camera company coming in the end of this month to replace some ones that are not working, install a new one at the skate park.
Great.
So it'll be nice to finally get that resolved. And I think that's it.
Anything new on Climate Smart?
Oh, thank you for the reminder. Yes, so next Tuesday, the 29th, we have a Climate Smart Community Task Force meeting here at Village Hall at 7:30. It's noticed on the website and in the advertiser. But essentially, it's that task force who's meeting to talk about the activities that the village is undertaking to really to achieve the Climate Smart Community certification that New York State urges municipalities to do. We have a goal, well, I kind of imposed the goal of being the first municipality in Orange County, aside from the actual county government, to be certified. So I think we're well on our way. We're very, very close. And there's one or two more activities that when we wrap that up, we can announce it. So I'm not gonna,
Okay.
not gonna jump the gun.
Don't
here.
jinx it, man.
Yeah. But it's really nice though to have people who really do care about this and want to offer their talents and their time to really better the village.
Yeah.
And Carly is one of the members, so thank you.
Great.
And that's it for me.
Okay. And I just want to make a mention that this coming Friday and Saturday, we have the Makers Market across the street. That's through Wickham Works and the Historical Society. And you mentioned the tree lighting. That's great. I want to wish everyone a very happy and blessed Thanksgiving. It's a great time of year to enjoy our families, enjoy our community, and enjoy coming downtown and, you know, just really getting engaged and involved with everything that happens here. So happy Thanksgiving. I also want to just make a mention to the board. I am just pleased with the work that you're doing independently, individually. That's what it's all about, and that's why we're elected, and thank you. Appreciate it. So we do have to go into executive session. And do you want to make a motion?
Make a motion to go into
Thanks.
executive session to discuss the medical, financial, credit, or employment history of a particular person or corporation, or matters leading to the appointment, employment, promotion, demotion, discipline, suspension, dismissal, or removal of a particular person or corporation.
Great. Do you have a second?
Oh, second.
All in favor?
I
Aye. Did you get that picture from Mr. Sweeten?
I didn't.
No,
He didn't take it off your camera?
no,
It's fine.
it was his, yeah, so we'll have to bug him,
We'll,
yeah.
we'll corner him.
Okay.
I'm gonna go stop the live recording.
Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. you
Happy
too.
Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Enjoy.
Tell you the
Bye.
whole story by herself, but she got there naturally getting money with us, and there she is, down my house, double finger, first thing in the morning.
Another
Do
review
you,
that's
do you want to
outstanding
put,
is
or
the
do you,
film-
wait, do you need it?
I finished
For-
the film permit.
I can give it to you right now, you can give it to me when you see me.